Hello everyone, welcome back to Kiran's English Hub. So we're continuing with the summaries of 7th class English, and so far we have completed up to Unit 2 Reading B, and in this video we shall learn Reading C, that is Susrutha, an ancient plastic surgeon. Okay, so very important and very scientific, very general knowledge. Okay, lesson. Please keep all your senses on the video so that you will learn a lot of information, a lot of knowledge. You will learn a lot of knowledge from this video. Yeah, so before going to the text, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications whenever I upload a new video. Yeah, let me scroll here. Yeah, fine. Let me zoom in a little bit for your comfort. Okay, so here, so reading C. So Susrutha, an ancient plastic surgeon. Okay, so Susrutha is the name of a plastic surgeon in ancient period. Okay, so what do you understand by this title? Susrutha is the name of a plastic surgeon in ancient period, ancient time in the sense how many years back? 10 years back, 20 years back, 100 years back, 1000 years back. What's it? What do you mean by ancient? That you will see that in the lesson. Okay, yeah, fine. So it was midnight when Susrutha was awakened by a frenetic knocking at the door. Okay, so as soon as we enter the text here, we see it is completely midnight, and Sushrutha was awakened. Awakened in the sense Sushrutha was got up since there was a frenetic in the sense a knocking in the sense no, tick tick tick, knocking on the door. Yeah, fine. See, since it is an audio, it is not a direct class education, so because of that I cannot show my actions to you. Actually, I am very much interested to show you the actions which I usually show in the classroom, but please understand whenever I make small sounds to indicate something. Okay, so knocking at the door, frenetic in the sense some type of horrible or hurry. Okay, so knocking is in hurry. Whenever want to visit a doctor, and if the door is closed and the doctor is inside, and if you are bleeding something, your hand or your finger is cut, so how do you knock? Very peacefully or horribly frenetic? You knock very fastly, tuck 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 tuck. Okay, just like that. So Sushta was awakened by that frantic knock at the door. So who is out there? Asked the aged doctor. Aged doctor here is Sushrutha. Okay, Sushrutha is an old aged doctor. So he said, who is out there? Taking a lighted torch from its socket in the wall and approaching the door. So he got up and he was taking a torch from the socket in the sense just like a pocket that you usually have to the shirt. Okay, so the same type of shape is even there for the wall. So they put all the things in that just like a pocket shaped. Okay, so he took a torch from that and he was calling, he was also saying, who is out there? So I'm a traveler, my revered Sushrutha. What do you mean by revered? Revered in the sense, what? Respected. Okay, so few people who are highly efficient or highly qualified or highly important or highly intellectual or highly knowledged, they can be referred as revered. Okay, so I'm a traveler, revered Sushrutha was the anguished. Okay, anguished in the sense he was a little bit early. So a tragedy has befallen me. I need your help. Tragedy in the sense you can understand it like a pain. Okay, I have some pain or I am in some trouble. Okay, so I'm a traveler, dear Sushrutha, respected Sushrutha. I'm a traveler and I'm in some problem. Okay, I'm in a dangerous problem or I'm in a trouble. Please help me. I need your help. He was saying like that. So Sushrutha opened the door. So when he saw, what he saw was a man kneeling before him, tears flowing from his eyes and blood from his disfigured nose. Okay, so when Sushruta opened the door, Sushruta saw there was a man kneeling. Okay, kneeling on the knees. Okay, kneeling before him, before Sushruta, and tears flowing from his eyes. Tears in the sense he might be crying a lot. Okay, because of the pain. Why? and the blood from his disfigured nose. There was a lot of blood from his disfigured nose. Disfigured nose in the sense unshaped nose. For example, if the nose is cut halfway, okay, that is called as disfigured. For example, if your finger is broken completely, or if your finger is cut, okay, so that is called, you can call it as disfigured finger. Okay, so there is no figure, or no, there is no proper shape for your finger. So that guy also had no proper shape for his nose. He might hit himself somewhere, or something has hit him very hardly on his nose, and his nose was broken. So get up, my son, and come in, said Susrutha. Everything will be all right. Be quiet now. Okay, so Susrutha said. So that is the first thing that doctors have to suggest. Of course, they suggest it to the patients. They should tell, okay, okay, fine, don't worry. Okay, don't worry. You will, nothing will happen to you. You will be safe. Okay, be calm. Okay, that is the first thing that usually doctors tell us. Yes or no? Yeah, Sushrita also told the same. So he led the stranger to a neat and clean room with the surgical instruments on its walls. He washed his face with water and the juice of a medicinal plant. He then offered him a mug of wine and began preparing for the operation. So he took the stranger into a room which is like an operation theater. So the room had surgical instruments, and when he took him there, okay, Sushita took the traveler to the room, and he washed his face, and also he washed his face with the juice of a medicinal plant. Okay, medicinal plant. And then he also offered him a mug of wine and began preparing for the operation. Mug of wine. So most of the children and most of the aspirants might get a doubt here. Why mug of wine? Okay, is Sushrata having any type of wine business? No, 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 no. Okay, so in ancient time, when Sushrata was doing all these operations or surgical or plastic operations, so he used to offer wine to these patients to keep them sleep. Okay, for example, if you are completely drunk, okay, and if I hit you, you will not get any type of pain, not so much of pain. So that is the reason Susruta used to give this type of wine, okay, to the patients who come there. Okay, fine. So with a large leaf of a creeper brought from the garden, he measured the size of the stranger nose. So what was the first thing? So he brought a large shape of leaf from the garden, okay, and that is the leaf of a creeper. Okay, creeper in the sense, no, one type of tree, that is. Okay, so he took the shape of the nose on the leaf. So taking a knife and forceps from the wall, he held them over a flame and cut a strip of flesh from the stranger's cheek. So what did he do? After bringing the leaf, he kept it aside. He even cut the leaf into the shape of the stranger's traveler's nose, and he also took forceps in the sense cutters, okay, from the wall, and held them over a flame. Why over a flame? Why over a flame? There is a reason. Okay, if there is any bacteria, okay, that will be dead because of the flame. And he also cut a strip of flesh, okay, a small piece of flesh from the stranger's cheek. Okay, so the man moaned, but the wine had numbed these senses. Okay, moaned in the sense, for example, if you pain little bit of pain, okay, for example, that this morning is usually in the sleep. Okay, for example, if your mother wakes you up so early, what do? You give a type of sound, okay, just like rejecting not to get up at that time. Okay, so that is called as mourning. And since this traveler had wine, okay, he didn't get that much of pain, and he was just sleeping, laying on the floor. So after bandaging a cut in the cheek, Sushita cautiously inserted two pipes into the stranger's nostrils and transplanted the flesh to the disfigured nose. Okay, what did you do? So after cutting the flesh from the cheek, so Sushruta inserted two pipes. Okay, there are two pipes. He inserted two pipes into the nostrils. Okay, nostrils in the sense holes of the nose, two nostrils. Okay, the two nostrils or two holes of the nose are called as nostrils. Okay, so he put two pipes into the nostrils, and he transplanted the flesh into the disfigured nose. Transplanted in the sense the flesh which he has taken from the cheek, he took the flesh from the cheek and put it on the nose. Okay, finally, Molding the flesh into the shape, he dusted the nose with powdered licorice, red sandalwood, and an extract of Indian barberry. So he finally, put that, the cheek skin on the nose, and he started to make a shape, just like, if you are, I think if you have any type of experience making Lord Ganesha's idols in your childhood with mud, you make his face, like this with fingers, just like that. He put all that, cheeks flesh on the nose, and molded in the sense made, okay, made the skin into the shape of nose. And finally he also powdered, okay, after bandaging all that, after putting the skin there, he powdered the nose with the licorice, okay, that is a type of medicinal, powder might be. So red sandalwood and an extract of Indian barberry. So these are all the natural available medicines in those days. Okay, so he then enveloped in the sense closed, okay, enveloped the nose in cotton, sprinkled some refined oil of sesame on it, and finally put a bandage. Okay, so he closed the nose with cotton. Okay, first he kept cotton, and he also finally sprinkled some refined oil of sesame. Okay, sesame, that now also you will get this sesame oil in the market. So that oil, but that is processed. Okay, so he kept that sesame oil on that cotton, and he finally put a bandage. What happened now? Operation is over. Okay, do you think it is so easy? Not so easy. Yeah. So before the traveler left, he was given instructions on what to do and what not to do, and a list of medicines and herbs. List of medicines and herbs. Okay, herbs were given in those days for this type of patients. Okay, so he was to take regularly. So he was also asked to come back after a few weeks to be examined. So before the traveler could leave, Susrutha gave some medicines, and he also gave some instructions to what to eat, what not to eat, okay, what to do and what not to do. And he gave all the instructions, precautions to be taken. And finally, he also told the traveler to come back after a few weeks. So, in this manner, Sushrita mended a nose some 26 centuries ago. Just remember what is the meaning of century. Century is equal to 100 years. And this operation had took place how many centuries ago? 26 centuries ago, my dear children. 26 centuries ago. And one century is equal to 100 years. So calculate. Okay, and what he did is not greatly different from what a plastic surgeon would do today. Okay, so now there are many plastic surgeons, right? Even I had undergone a plastic surgery for my wrist. Okay, so all the plastic surgeons that, that are available now in our society, and all the surgeries that they are doing is not much different from what Sushrita had done before 26 centuries. So, in fact, Sushrita is today recognized as the father of plastic surgery all over the world. Okay, first general knowledge question: who is the father of plastic surgery? Sushrita. That is the question, general knowledge question. Okay, next, his treatise in the sense book. Okay, book. Sushrita Samhita has considerable medical knowledge of relevance even today. Okay, so Sushrita has written a book which he named as Sushrita Samhita, and in that he had mentioned all the medical knowledge, and that medical knowledge is even used even today by the plastic surgeons. Next, it indicates that India was far ahead of the rest of the world in medical knowledge. Okay, so because of this proper evidence, because of this particular evidence, we can say that India was far ahead in the field of medicine. Okay, so there was no other person in the world who used to do these type of surgeries before that many centuries ago. Okay, so we can say India was so much advanced in the medical field in those days and in those centuries. Okay, next, born in the 6th century BC. Now you can see, when we started the lesson, I told you what do you mean by ancient age, or what do you mean by ancient period. Okay, so this is called as ancient period. Okay, where what is that? born in the 6th century BC, before Christ. Okay, so he was born in 6th century BC, and now we are in AD. Okay, so we can just tell this is 2020, right? So before 2020, no, not even 20. Okay, so it is nearly another 600, yeah, 2600 years ago. Okay, now we are in 2620 years ago. Okay, just imagine the time. I will leave it to that, leave it to you. So Sushrutha was a descendant of the Vedic sage Vishwamitra. So he learned surgery and medicine at the feet of Divodasa Dhanvantri in his hermitage at Varanasi. So Sushrutha was a descendant of the Vedic sage of Vishwamitra. Okay, so he was born or brought up in that type of Vedic sage, and he also learned surgery and medicine at the feet of in the sense. Okay, he was the student of Divodasa Dhanvantri. Okay, he was Divodasa Dhanvantri was guru of Sushruta in his hermitage. Okay, hermitage in the sense where the mm, where men live. Okay, where unmarried men live. Okay, so hermitage at Varanasi. Okay, so at Varanasi, Sushruta learned all this. Next, later he became an authority in not only surgery but also in other branches of medicine. Okay, so later he learned, he became very much famous, or he became very much talented, not only just in surgery, not only just doing surgery, but in other branches of medicine also. Okay, so he was the first physician to advocate what is today known as the cesarean operation. Okay, apart from his surgeries, plastic surgeries, he has many other talents in medicine. The first thing is here, he was the person who first advocated caesarean operation in the sense cutting and doing the operation, cutting the skin and doing the operation. Okay, fine. Next, he was also an expert in removing urinary stones. Okay, urinary stones from the kidneys. Next, locating and treating fractures. Okay, broken legs, broken hands. Okay, he locates all that and treats fractures. And doing eye operation for cataract, very 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 difficult operation. Okay, it is not very easy to do eye operations. Removing cataract is very much dangerous. People even lose eyes when this operation is done usually. Okay, most of the people. Okay, but Sushruta used to do even eye operations in those days. Just imagine his talent. So his suggestion to give wine to patients about to be operated upon makes him also the father of anesthesia. Okay, so what is the importance of giving wine in those days? Now we call it as anesthesia. Okay, so give the patient anesthesia before taking him to the operation theater, or before making operation on him. So what is the importance of anesthesia? Anesthesia can numb or can decrease all the senses. Okay, so the person who is about to be operated will not get any pain when the doctor cuts or removes something from his skin or body. Okay, so in those days, Sushruta used to give wine. So because of that, he was also called as the he is also called as the father of anesthesia, and he is also father of surgery. Okay, next, in his treatise in the sense book, Sushruta listed 101 types of instruments, 101 types of not farming instruments, medical instruments. Okay, you can see here. Okay, so his samdams yantras. Okay, samdams yantras. Okay, he calls them as the samdams yantras are the first forms of modern surgeons spring forces and dissertion and dressing forceps. Okay, so samdams yantras in the sense that which he uses for the operation and all. So he even used spring forces. Okay, spring forces in the sense, for example, if you just hold them and leave, that spring will come back. Okay, just like the scissor. For example, if you want to bring up the scissor after putting it down with the two fingers, you have to use force, but spring forces you need not to use it. Okay, it automatically comes up. Next, distortion in the sense, okay, opening the skin, that one. Okay, dressing forceps. Okay, all of you, most of you got dressed up. Okay, in the hospitals. So that dressing forceps. Okay, so we invented all those forceps and all. So in fact, his system of making surgical tools after the animals or birds they resemble in shape. For example, crocodile forceps, hawksbill forceps is adopted even today. Okay, so he used to name the surgical tools shape of after the names of animals based on their shape. Okay, for example, see this type of, for example, imagine this type of edges. Okay, for example, if there is any tool with this shape, we used to name them as the crocodile forceps. Okay, or hawksbill also, it is an animal. Okay, so birds, animals, okay, all these creatures names are given to the forceps and medical tools. Okay, so those type of names are even called today. Okay, so Susrutha was also an excellent teacher. Okay, he was also an excellent teacher. He told his pupils in the sense students, okay, students, that one could become a good physician only if one knew both theory and practice. Okay, so what did he say? See, my dear students, if anybody wants to become a good physician or a good doctor, you should know both theory and practice. Theory in the sense all the medical education, and also you should have lot of practice. Next, he advised his pupils, again students, to use carcasses, okay, carcasses in the sense dead bodies, and models for practice before surgery. He told, don't just go and do heart surgery on a person who is having heart problem. Okay, he will die absolutely. Don't practice anything on him before going to the operation theater. Please practice that surgery on a dead animal or a dead human being or any type of model. Okay, models which are made with plastic and all, so that you will get perfection with that practice, and finally you can do the operation in the operation theater, otherwise that person will die. Next, so this is adopted from Scientists of India, published by Children's Book Trust, New Delhi. Before leaving the lesson, I would like to give one small relative statements here. Just wait here. Yeah, so his pupils that no one could become a good physician only if one knew both yeah, one could become a good physician only if one knew both theory and practice. Okay, see, in reading A of this unit, we had come across C.V. Raman. So C.V. Raman also told his students, don't just stick to the books or laboratories. You should also go outside the world and do some practices, learn everything from the outside. So that is just like practicing in the world, and finally inventing in the laboratories. Okay, so these both legends are both great educationalists, have told us the same. Okay, we should read as well as we should practice more to be perfect in any type of thing. Okay, my dear students, so I hope you will do that. And it was a very good lesson about Susrutha. Yeah, you can see in the picture. Yeah, fine. So in the next lesson, next video, we shall go through reading C. So we shall complete the units very soon. I will be uploading the videos very soon hereafter. Okay, so those who missed so much time, you can learn this from here. Yeah, fine. Okay, before leaving the video, don't forget to subscribe, so that when I upload the next lessons videos, you will get the notifications and you can watch them without wasting any time. So see you all in the next video. Until then, be safe. God bless you. See you all.